The roar of a Harley Davidson engine is unmistakable. For over a century, these machines have defined American motorcycles, but not every Harley that rolled off the assembly line was a masterpiece. These are the 10 worst Harley Davidson motorcycles ever made, bikes so problematic they nearly destroyed the company's reputation. Number 10. The 1975 FLH 1200. Powered by the infamous Shovelhead engine, this touring bike leaked more oil than it kept inside. Riders nicknamed it the mobile oil spill for good reason. The Shovelhead engine wasn't just unreliable, it was a maintenance nightmare that drained both wallets and patience. Professional mechanics report that these bikes required service intervals nearly twice as frequent as comparable models. The FLH's excessive weight, tipping the scales at over 760 pounds, turned simple maneuvers into precarious situations. While some defended its touring capabilities, the bike's constant overheating issues meant long-distance rides often ended with roadside repairs. Even dedicated Harley mechanics struggled to resolve its persistent oil leaks, leading many owners to install aftermarket solutions that often created more problems than they solved. Number 9. The Harley Davidson Baja 100. In the 1970s, Harley attempted to break into the booming dirt bike market by partnering with Italian manufacturer Ermacchi. The result was a bike that failed spectacularly at its intended purpose. The Baja 100's frame showed stress cracks after minimal off-road use, while its underpowered engine struggled to compete with Japanese rivals. Testing revealed that the bike's cooling system couldn't handle sustained off-road riding, leading to frequent breakdowns in the very terrain it was designed to tackle. Dealers reported that many Baja 100s spent more time in repair shops than on trails. The partnership with Ermacchi proved to be a strategic miscalculation that alienated Harley's core fanbase while failing to attract new riders. Racing enthusiasts quickly learned to avoid the Baja 100, leading to plummeting sales and eventual discontinuation. Want more motorcycle history and insights? Hit subscribe to join our community of riders. We're uncovering the stories behind legendary bikes every week. Number 8. The Street 500 and 750 series marked Harley's ambitious attempt to capture the entry-level market. The decision to manufacture these bikes in India revealed serious flaws in quality control. Owners reported critical safety issues, including brake systems that required constant adjustment and suspension components that deteriorated rapidly. The fit and finish problems were immediately apparent. Misaligned panels, inconsistent paint quality, and electrical systems that failed in wet conditions. Dealership technicians found themselves overwhelmed with warranty claims, while replacement parts often showed the same quality issues as the originals. The Street Series affordability came at the cost of Harley's reputation for building reliable machines. Industry analysts estimate that these models' high warranty claim rates cost Harley-Davidson millions in repairs and damaged brand value. Number 7. The 1970 Harley-Davidson Sprint represents another failed attempt at international collaboration. This lightweight bike suffered from an identity crisis. Too weak for American highways, yet too heavy for agile urban riding. The Sprint's starter clutch became its most notorious feature, with a failure rate so high that dealers began stocking replacements before bikes even arrived at showrooms. Riders reported that the engine's vibration would loosen vital components during normal operation, requiring frequent retightening of nearly every bolt on the bike. The Sprint's fuel economy was its lone bright spot, though owners joked this was only because the bike spent so much time being repaired. Documentation from the era reveals that warranty claims on the Sprint's electrical system alone exceeded the bike's original profit margin. Number 6. The 2017 Street Glide showcases how modern technology can create ancient problems. This model introduced the Milwaukee 8 engine, promising revolutionary performance. Instead, it delivered revolutionary heat levels. Temperature readings showed the engine regularly exceeded safe operating ranges by 30 to 40 degrees. Riders reported leg burns severe enough to melt riding gear, while the oil cooling system developed leaks that created hazardous riding conditions. Dealership service departments documented cases where oil from leaking cooling lines coated rear tires, leading to several reported accidents. Engineering analysis revealed that the heat management system was inadequate for the engine's output, requiring aftermarket modifications to achieve safe operating temperatures. The 2017 Street Glide became a cautionary tale about the risks of rushing new technology to market without adequate testing. Number 5. The 2015 Electra Glide Ultra Classic stands as a testament to how one critical flaw can undermine an entire design. This touring heavyweight suffered from a catastrophic clutch defect that led to one of Harley's largest recalls. The clutch would disengage without warning, leaving riders stranded, or worse, in dangerous traffic situations. But the problems didn't stop there. The bike's water pump suffered from an engineering oversight that created an imbalance in the cooling system. This caused excessive vibration that would eventually damage other components. Professional mechanics discovered that the tire alignment system was fundamentally flawed, leading to irregular wear patterns that required frequent and expensive replacements. The Ultra Classic's excessive weight, nearly 900 pounds fully loaded, amplified these issues, issues, making the bike particularly challenging for touring riders who faced breakdowns far from service centers. Number 4. The 2009 to 2013 Road Glide series represents a dark period in Harley's brake system development. These models suffered from a potentially lethal flaw, sudden and complete brake fluid failure. Internal documents revealed that the braking system's design allowed air to enter the lines, leading to total loss of braking power without warning. Multiple recalls attempted to address various stability issues, but riders continued reporting problems with fuel system malfunctions. The fuel injection system would occasionally cut out at highway speeds, a problem that took Harley engineers years to properly diagnose. During this period, the Road Glide fell behind competitors in technological innovation, lacking basic features that had become standard on other touring bikes. Dealership records show that many loyal Road Glide owners traded in their 2009 to 2013 models for competing brands. Still here? You're clearly as passionate about motorcycle history as we are. Hit subscribe for weekly deep dives into legendary bikes and infamous failures. Number 3. The 1980 Sportster demonstrates how not to respond to rising competition. In an era when Japanese manufacturers were pushing performance boundaries, Harley's 997cc V-twin engine produced a mere 55 horsepower, barely enough to maintain highway speeds with a passenger. The 4-speed transmission, already outdated by 1980 standards, suffered from clunky shifting and frequent mechanical failures. Engineering tests showed that the bike's vibration levels exceeded human tolerance thresholds after just 30 minutes of riding. Riders reported losing sensation in their hands and feet during normal commuting distances. The 2.1-gallon fuel tank proved woefully inadequate, providing a range of only 80 miles, assuming you could tolerate the vibration long enough to travel that far. Dealership records from the period show that nearly 40% of these Sportsters required major mechanical intervention within their first year of service. Number 2. The 1999 to 2002 twin-cam 88 models introduced an engine design flaw that would haunt Harley for years. The 88A variant's cam chain tensioners, made from plastic, would deteriorate under normal operating conditions. These plastic particles would then circulate through the engine's oil system, causing cascading failures throughout the power plant. Professional engine rebuilders reported finding plastic debris embedded in main bearings, causing premature wear and catastrophic failures. The excessive crankshaft runout created vibration patterns that would crack mounting brackets and stress frame components. While Harley eventually addressed these issues in the 88B variant, thousands of riders had already invested in expensive aftermarket solutions. Service records indicate that some owners spent more on repairs than their original purchase price. Number 1. The AMF-era Harleys, spanning from 1969 to 1981, represent the lowest point in Harley Davidson's century-long history. Under AMF's ownership, quality control became an oxymoron. Bikes left the factory with critical defects, engines leaked from multiple points, electrical systems failed in light rain, and key components worked loose during normal operation. Factory workers from this period later revealed that production quotas took priority over quality checks. The term hardly drivable became so common that even AMF executives acknowledged the nickname in internal memos. These bikes nearly destroyed Harley Davidson's reputation permanently. The true cost of this era? By 1981, Japanese manufacturers had captured over 80% of the American motorcycle market, pushing Harley to the brink of bankruptcy. Here's something to consider. If these notorious motorcycles had never existed, would Harley Davidson still be the company we know today? Sometimes, the biggest failures drive the most important innovations. Speaking of innovations, wait until you hear about Harley's most recent mechanical disaster, but that's a story for another video.